So a lot of people these days are concerned about the rise of AI. Does it frighten you? Does it worry you, AI?
Somewhat.
What worries you about it? Like, are robot overlords rising up to enslave us? Or the fact that we'll kind of get intellectually lazy and the evolution of our own intellect will stop because we're outsourcing that need to a machine?
Well, it's the first technology that has no limit.
Silicon Valley billionaires, they want you to believe that they're saving the world, but in reality, they're just trying to sell you some really expensive sci-fi fanfic. Today, we're going to talk about 4 lies the Silicon Valley is telling us. This is very important, so buckle up. Lie number 1. Let's talk about Moore's Law. Moore's Law is really important because this is kind of like the gospel for Silicon Valley when it comes to technological development. Moore's Law says that technology will get faster and cheaper, and it will continue to do so over time. And to be fair, for decades, it really did. Like, it got really fast and it got really cheap. Now, Moore's Law primarily talks about transistors. And in order to kind of understand that, we need to talk about what transistors are and primarily how they're important, specifically to artificial intelligence, which we're going to talk about in this video. Transistors are the fundamental building blocks for the chips that power artificial intelligence. Every time an AI model makes a decision, like recognizing your cat or generating weird fanfic, it's using billions of transistors switching on and off to do the math. The more transistors you can cram onto a chip, the more powerful your AI will be. Now, why is this significant? Because when it comes to transistors, we are close to hitting an atomic limit. At the moment, we've managed to squeeze the size of a transistor down to 0.3 nanometers in diameter. That's almost the size of a single atom, and physics says you cannot build a transistor smaller than the size of an atom. So if we're hitting this atomic limit, then that means we're likely going to be hitting a limit in terms of this, like, development of artificial intelligence. So the speed race is hitting a hard atomic wall. Sorry, Tony Stark wannabes. Long-termism is one of the favorite bedtime stories of Silicon Valley billionaires. It says, let's prioritize future people instead of current people because there's going to be trillions of future people, especially if we colonize space, but more on that later. All of this sounds noble, but there are some very, very, very glaring plot holes in all of this. 1, we don't know what kind of future is coming. 2, we don't know what future people will need. And 3, and most importantly, they don't exist yet. And to make this work, we would need unbelievable amounts of growth within the economy, within the energy, and within the human population. Like space emperor levels of expansion. And if you think sustainability is the goal, think again, because long-termists, they hate stasis, especially Jeff Bezos. They think slowing down means doom. It's less save the future and more let's burn the present so future hypothetical space babies can have condos on Saturn. Lie number 3. Artificial general intelligence, humanity's supposed final boss. And no, not like Sephiroth. Tech bros say AGI is coming, it's going to be smarter than us, and oh my god, it's going to wipe us out. But here's the thing that they don't tell you, the dirty little secret they don't tell you. We don't understand human intelligence, let alone how to replicate it. Modern neuroscience doesn't fully understand consciousness. So building an artificial version of something we don't understand, that's like trying to build a car without not having any knowledge of wheels. And humans, we're kind of suckers for anthropomorphism. We see a chatbot and go, whoa, it's alive. Spoiler, it's just autocomplete with a fancy resume. And then there's this idea that general intelligence is a measurable thing when it doesn't really have any measurable and discrete characteristics. And this idea that general intelligence is a thing, like that general intelligence is something that has characteristics, that has discrete, immutable traits that you can kind of track and measure, that kind of gets into some shaky historical territory. It's race science. Also, AGI isn't inevitable. The people who are designing AGI to be destructive are telling us that the AGI being destructive and wiping us out is going to happen, when really it just seems like some kind of self-fulfilling prophecy that creates an excuse for those builders of AI to build something destructive. You see what I mean? It's a little circular, and it always ends in us being destroyed and them being like, I told you so, even though we kind of built it to say, I told you so. Yes, the billionaire's escape plan. Earth's on fire, so we're gonna go to Mars. Because Earth is not worth saving anymore, basically. Like, Earth is basically dead to them at this point. But here's a grim reality check for those with an escape plan. We are not made to live on other planets. Earth took 4 billion years to evolve the specific conditions for our kind of life to not only survive, but also thrive. The microbes, the atmospheric pressure, the oxygen levels, it's all tailored for us. Mars, not so much. In order to terraform Mars, you would need so much CO2 that any human trying to breathe on Mars would suffocate. That doesn't sound like a nice vacation to me. If anything, it sounds like a death sentence. And Mars is way farther away from the sun than Earth, but not far enough to where Mars is going to avoid being burnt to a crisp that much longer than Earth will by our sun. So yeah, Mars is kind of screwed in that department too. And let's just say we, somehow gain the ability to travel at light speed so we can find one of the Earth-like planets beyond our solar system or even beyond our galaxy. There's a problem with that because you're traveling so fast at the speed of light that even a collision with like a piece of cosmic space dust will evaporate your spaceship like you just collided with a deep space minefield. So just remember that the next time any Silicon Valley billionaire tries to sell you on this vision of saving humanity through development of super intelligent AI, deep space colonization, and the infinite potentiality of technology to liberate us from our Earth hellhole, so to speak, they're lying to you. We're being footed the bill for their lies, and it's time for that to stop. So like, subscribe, stay skeptical, and don't let these Silicon Valley billionaires run us into the ground, run us off Earth, because there is no planet B. And if you want to go deeper down this rabbit hole of Silicon Valley lies, there's a lot more detail in this wonderful book, More Everything Forever by Adam Becker. I highly recommend it. It's where I got a lot of the information for this video, and I recommend that you guys check this out. Peace. Hey everybody, I wanted to do a quick little postscript since this is the first video on the channel. I mean, honestly, this is my first video ever, so I can't even imagine the number of things that were off. Public speaking, not on point. Lighting, definitely not on point. Hopefully that'll change. The editing, probably not on point either. There was probably a rough transition or two. I'll work on those. I hope to do some more long form videos once I get better at this. But I wanted to say a few quick words about the vision of technology and artificial intelligence. So I think one thing that's worth noting is that we shouldn't be anti-technology. I'm personally not anti-technology. I'm not a Luddite. I don't believe that we should shun technological development. Technology should be something that levels the playing field, not destroys it. I think right now what these Silicon Valley billionaires are selling us is a vision where technology destroys everything, which who wants that? Like, that makes no sense to me. Who wants that? And I think that this vision of like AI doom is turning a lot of people off of the benefits of what it could do for people. AI and technological development should be democratized. It should be something that the people are a part of, not only bringing about, but also fostering its usage and its education. And I'm not saying also that, humanity is incapable of creating extravagant things that could possibly take us beyond the realm of what we could imagine. But it's like, what kind of future are we talking about? Hundreds of years, thousands of years, millions of years? Do we want to mortgage the certain present for an uncertain future that we don't know too much about? Given everything going on in the present, how can we do that? So in the end, Nature is Praxis, this channel, and we don't have to get into what it means right now. But one thing that I want this channel to do is look to the natural world to understand what it means to be human, understanding that humans emerge from nature, even our society, our music, our buildings, our sports, our customs, all of that is a part of nature because we are a part of nature. So we need to juxtapose this with this notion of technological anti-humanism that exists among Silicon Valley billionaires. I'm sure y'all saw the Peter Thiel clip.
I think you would prefer the human race to endure, right? You're hesitating.
Yeah, well,
yes?
I don't know. I would
This is a long hesitation. This is a long hesitation.
There's so many.
But in the end, we need to cherish this planet that we have. We don't want to leave it. We don't want to destroy it, because in this somewhat hostile for life solar system universe, we'll get to that in another video. This is the one place, this is the one utopia that's given a warm embrace to humanity. See you next time.